Bila nak tengok Dandadan ni double up your substance. It's wild, it's trippy, gila.
So we're going to give you a short pengenalan on Dandadan as an IP. This title's been going on for a couple of years. I think it's 2021. Dia merupakan sebuah manga nukilan Tatsu Yukinobu. Now, this guy is shy. Dia gambar dia tak ada, tapi kalau anda ada TikTok, anda boleh ke channel yang run by Viz Lydia. There's a picture of him wearing one of those creepy looking masks, and he tells you lah which characters he like. Obviously, he likes Momo like I do, but then again, there is a reason which we'll get to later why actually characters dia not just because awet tu cute ke apa, actually have got depth, endearing and blah 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 blah. Itu baru 2 episod ya. First of all, just to declare, I have the manga, but I purposely didn't read it yet. You guys, Munif?
Yeah. I've read it until the latest chapter. So this mostly the 100, must be 150 plus or something like that.
Yeah. Di Jepun, apa yang Munif describe tu dah, kalau tankobon dia 13. Tapi in English, physically, we've only got up to, I went to check at Kino just now. The 9th one isn't out yet. The one with the fetish guy, dia buat macam tu pusing kan. Amber, do you read the manga at all? Or anime only?
No, not at all.
Anime only?
Anime je, yeah.
Okay, and Jamal, I presume might be, but then I don't know. You do read manga anyway. But did you read this?
I will start later this month. I do not know how I managed to have self-restraint to not start the manga last week after watching the first episode. Macam, okay, I think this is something I should do, and then I will use the duduk rumah buat kerja punya excuse and burn 2 hours to read the manga. But somehow or other, I got distracted and I forgot about it. But I have a feeling that I will enjoy the manga. On paper, dia punya visual feast is different than when it's animated. I feel there are certain parts macam dalam episode 2 where you practically see a full double 2-page panel punya spread as the animation. I think that is just absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, you're correct. I mean, what I was going to say is, yeah, we've got a little comment here from them. Ada Munif on the weekend. Well, almost the weekend. Jamal returning. Amber enough said. This IP actually, when if you look at the cover, I mean, I'm not a avid reader of Reddit. I was just like looking through when I was doing the back leg work for this thing. Some
people
idiot
should go crazy on Reddit.
I Reddit for me, in my opinion, like you said once before, people can say anything they want, biarlah kan. Tapi komen dia kata, alah lukisan dia macam kalau kau tengah sibuk baca paper, kau tengah lukis-lukis ke tepi, macam tu je lukisan dia. Allah, Papa dia.
Yes.
I mean, look at this, man. Look at this shit. So this was the last copy of Switch at Kino yesterday. Sorry if anybody saw this and wanted this, it's mine. Anyway, but this guy now, dia, kau ingat dia ni, mesti ada pedigree lah, lukisan dia gempak kan. He's actually got a few works under his belt, but this was his proper title because he used to be the assistant mangaka to Fujimoto Tatsuki on Fire Punch. Fujimoto-san sensei is obviously more commonly known for his work with Chainsaw Man lah, kan? Tapi he did during Fire Punch in 2016. Tatsu Yukinobu was an assistant, and he was also assistant to, ang tahu tak Munif siapa dia assist? Come on.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Siapa ni? Takkan order.
Yuji Kaku Jigoku Raku.
Yo.
He
patut art style tu nampak lah. Sebab Dodo very elaborate drawing.
Yeah. So
yeah.
His other works are very like, as early as 2010, he did a 2-volume sci-fi shonen called Seiki no Rokugo, and there was also a 5-volume baseball shonen manga called Fireball, and there's a fantasy one-shot in 2015 called Kami-sama no Irumachi, also shonen fantasy, and also in 2015 another one-shot shonen school romance called Renai Saibai Ho, which is about a mushroom-themed love story not drugs, but like awet dia rambut mushroom blah blah blah. But dia orang tanya apa pasal kau tak buat manga earlier than this? Dia kata tak, aku nak habiskan my experience as an assistant. So by the time he finished assisting Yuji Kaku on Jigo Kuraku, then he ventured out to do Dandadan. Another good thing about how Saru adapted this is because it's actually, bukanlah copying, but that's what a good anime should do, bukan nak kata this mangaka's artwork requires improvement, but adapt it properly. I mean, oh god man, look at that stuff. But that's by the by. So why is it called Dandadan? Actually, I don't even know. I was trying to look for it. Anybody got any clues or read anything? Whether, because this guy's quite shy, he doesn't say much. But I think it's more like of a onomatopoeia macam. Aku tahu kat Jepun bila diorang nak cakap tada, they don't say tada, they go jajang. So but Dandadan probably like a noise or dan. I mean, listen to the opening track by Creepy Nuts. Ada.
Yeah.
Apa jawapannya?
Tapi this was back in April 2022 on Reddit. So it says here that it is written on cover of Volume 3. I presume the Tankobon Volume 3 in Japan. It says Dandadan stands for Kaidan, Kidan, and Taikendan. So ghost tales, strange tales, and recounting tales. So the middle Dandadan, the middle da tu, I guess the end is disappeared. The end disappears because when you compound
cakap laju-laju.
You cakap laju-laju dia jadi Dandadan.
Lagi sedap pun Dandadan. Nice one. Thanks for letting us know. Fizabri is indeed correct. Anime banyak reference tokusatsu ini. And then don't worry, we've got Munif here to also explain a couple of things. Yes, we know that quote. One Faris. Anybody watch this on Muse Asia? Aku tengok
ada Malay translation.
Dia tak kata Winnie, dia kata batang terus. Aku So instead of Opai, no prizes for you to guess what Turbo Oba-chan said in Malay. I wondered, is this that subtitler from Days of Yore season 3 season 2 sorry. Itu at least dia tulis connect. Kenapa? Kita punya live stream ni not for kids, it's R15. Oi, kau tak boleh tulis anu ke tak apalah. Anyway,
I hope when I go and see my nephews, sembang-sembang dengan dia, tanya, so what are you watching now? Lepas tu dia keluar, I don't know if you watch this, but I like it. Dia sebut Dandadan, aku senyum je.
Probably they will be watching it with the English subtitle.
They probably will be talking about it. Yeah. Tapi sebab diorang tengok dekat TV besar kat rumah ramai-ramai, and I don't think they have Netflix on their phones, their devices, because Netflix is only on a TV only punya ni. So I'm not too sure.
Yeah. Kau tak tahu, aku itu tengok 3 pagi dengan bapak aku. Bila Serpo tu datang dekat Momo, father like, "Hoi!"
Aku macam aku tunggu je orang kat dalam group cakap, orang dalam group petik scene tu. Macam Mizi kata dia banyak sangat dah a few people comment about it, I'm gonna watch it. Aku macam I'm just gonna wait until you reach the last 7 minutes and comment on Momo. Lepas tu macam he was quiet macam okay. But I think I can't imagine how that looked like on panel. As an anime, it looked pretty gorgeous lah. The way it was it was animated. But I can't imagine how it looked like on the anime, because that particular scene when she was abducted, if you look at the space of where that scene is happening, it is a small confined space. You do not see how big the room is. So when you are drawing it on the panels, you need to be able to give a sense of space so that any adaptation boleh bayangkan macam mana nak animate it out. But at the same time, how do you draw it with the action and the art style being so kinetic and so kejap besar, kejap kecil? There's a lot of dynamism in it. So aku macam okay, sabar because this is a manga yang I'll probably be like another Death Note for me lah. Aku duduk 3 hari aku tak buat benda lain. Aku just manga all the way, you know.
R15 the discontinued motorcycle. Actually aku tak tahu sangat pasal motorcycle, so don't know lah which motorcycle that is. But yes, I think we'll go now to our Reaksi satu ayat.
我々は友好的な人たちです。
I mean, I'm biased, whatever. I did macam baca the manga for a couple of chapters, big like what Jamal did, because masa tu aku tak tengok chapter 2 which was last night lagi. So aku tengok lah, aku macam okay, tak boleh relax dulu. But tak boleh kata tak suka. Memang suka. Banyak layer. You will see why I like it when we go on about this lah. So we'll give it to Munif. What's your reaksi satu ayat untuk siri ni?
Aku I guess kalau nak kata satu ayat tu actually lega dengan dia punya animation quality lah. Relief so to speak. Sebab aku ni selalu bila manga yang aku really like nak dapat adaptation, my biggest worry is that can the animation do what I read justice. So macam Jigoku Raku, Jigoku Raku dia punya manga dia tak ada cerita lah. Macam sebab tempat tu kan dia cakap Taoism, pulau mistik tu banyak bunga-bunga. Dia lukis ketul-ketul flower, so lah manga dia pun semua on the spread lagi, memang artwork dia memang gila babi. So although the animation tu it did its job lah with the adaptation, but honestly it doesn't do the manga justice tau. And aku bukanlah expect they do that verbatim, so it's just crazy hard to do. Or then you need to get Studio Ghibli to animate the whole thing, which is not realistic lah kan. So bila dah dapat tahu dia nak adapt Dandadan pula, so I'm just like okay, just don't suck lah. I don't know if you can do all the crazy shit that we see, that we read in the manga. Tapi bila dia keluar, I really appreciate lah. Macam like you see how it's so stylized, and then they do all these really kinetic angles during the action scenes lah apa semua kan. So I was like more than happy lah. So lagi-lagi bila Turbo Granny datang lawan dengan the Serpo tu kan, aku rasa that really improves from what we see in the manga. Sebab dalam manga tak boleh nak tunjuk that kineticness kan. So it's a simple things macam bila kepala Turbo Granny tu lalu buah kangkang Serpo tu, and then dia punya head tu berhenti, but the momentum rambut dia lajak ke depan. Macam tu. Lepas tu baru dia gigit dari bawah kan. So I'm like, wow, that attention to detail, these are the things when it enhances from what you've read from the manga kan. So aku lega when I was just expecting, you know what, macam Jigoku Raku pun aku okay dah, just orang faham what they're looking at, orang just maybe like tertarik with the story whatever. But what they did is that, you know, even though you don't know what it's gonna be about yet, orang dah tertarik with the kineticness and dia punya stylized visuals. So lagi-lagi episode 2 pula dia ada that black and white punya filter tu kan. So yeah, the fact that it also looks pretty make me very happy and hopeful that people akan suka this not only the anime series but then pick up the manga juga lah moving forward, because it deserves more love and attention. Seriously.
Have you heard of the studio for Science Saru? Have you heard of it?
I think I have, tapi aku rasa aku tak pernah. So aku dengan wife aku gitu orang kata this anime marathon weekends lah, but I don't think macam the things that we've watched so far is mostly dictated by what she wants to watch, and kita macam tak pernah terlintas lagi this studio lah. But we've been watching some like quite pretty bangers juga lah. Yang lately kita pick up that Elusive Samurai tu, tonton animation.
I want to watch that. Is it good?
I'm like hooked.
Tak, sebab aku macam the algorithm for YouTube has been like slowly reaching out to me by feeding in one Mother Basement video, one anime critic video, semua on Elusive Samurai. So aku macam okay, I get you, I'm gonna watch one. Aku tengok satu, aku macam and then I watch another one, and then next thing I know I was like going through a rabbit hole of like reviews and suggestions, recommendations to go watch it. So now Munif has said it, so that's my last.
That's your sign lah.
That's my sign now.
right
Algorithm works. The algorithm worked with Munif.
Well, it also
Kaiji.
worked earlier on with Amber because we've got Amber waxing lyrical about it in one of my videos from 2 weeks ago.
Kau pun tengok ke? Nice.
I mean, I knew about my IP, but I didn't have time to watch it. But I knew it was beautiful. But Amber watched it, and it was explaining about it. And you have to bear in mind, sorry, aku tukar sekejap kamera because aku tengah cakap. It's by Yusei Matsui, which is the mangaka for Assassination Classroom. And if you read the manga, I've not read it. If you've seen the artwork, it's a beautifully drawn manga. So I think macam of late, like I think it was Jamal just now was commenting that I think in this day and age there is a wealth of IPs out there in which dari manga pun dah cantik and then studio pun dah pandai adapt, and hopefully we'll, with now we're the dwindling of all these current big shonens, okay, other than One Piece, like MHA ke Jujutsu Kaisen ke, semua dah nak tutup kedai dah atau dah tutup kedai dari manga punya perspektif. So what's up now? These are the upcoming. So reaksi satu ayat, Amber, for Dandadan, please.
Untuk Dandadan ni, aku nak petik balik apa yang Kudo cakap pasal Shikano Kono Konstantan. Kalau korang need to have your substance untuk tengok cerita tu, bila nak tengok Dandadan ni, double up your substance. It's wild, it's trippy, gila. Aku tak expect cerita ni macam, aku tak tahu lah, aku rasa aku tak pernah tengok kot anime yang ada like dua distinct konsep supernatural dengan extraterrestrial dalam satu anime tau. Aku rasa kalau supernatural dia supernatural je, kalau alien dia alien je. Aku rasa aku tak pernah tengok cerita macam ni dalam anime kan. Maybe ada aku just tak pernah tengok lagi lah. And animation untuk Dandadan ni, waktu first time tengok trailer dia, aku tak cam sangat dia daripada anime apa ataupun dari studio apa. Bila tengok first episode ni terus teringat Devil May Cry Baby, and it's the same studio.
It's the same studio
yang buat Devil May Cry Baby. Ya, tapi Devil May Cry Baby pun aku drop halfway tu. Tapi animation dia lebih kurang sama, like the camera angle apa semua, the details. So aku macam
I hope I didn't get this wrong, but if you've heard of a director called Yuasa, Masashi Yuasa, he's kind of seangkatan dengan geng-geng Shinkai, seangkatan dengan geng-geng the guy that made the Mirai, Mamoru Hosoda, that's it. Because he, coming back to Yuasa and a Korean chap called Yoon something created Science Saru, and thus far that I've seen they did a couple or one of the episodes in Star Wars Visions, the first season. So I think it was the one yang ada this little robot that had lightsabers. Kita dia quite poignant lah. That was a Science Saru episode from Visions. So yeah, it's quite a good studio. So hats off to them for adapting this crazy. Sen Jamal, your reaksi satu ya?
Okay, I'm gonna split my reaksi to two things because I approach watching the anime as an IP, but after watching the anime, especially towards in the last scene in episode 1, I immediately realized that my interest is split into two. One is as an animation punya property in a medium, and then one more as the manga as a story punya ni. So a few things I wanted to say. I was surprised sebab aku tak kaji. I have a habit of, at least in recent times, in the last 10 to 15 years, when I read a new anime or manga punya IP, I will only do my Wikipedia internet research when I'm like at least 100 to 200 episodes in, and I know exactly why I stayed that long. So Chainsaw Man was a title that I did not like, but I appreciated it. So as somebody yang katakanlah kau editor untuk jam, lepas tu kau kata okay, kita dalam jam ni kita boleh muat 8 title, means each title 16 page. 16 page, so 16 page. So 16 kali 8, okay, itu main title. So bila kau, and then kita ada lagi extra pages for other stuff. So when you are choosing that 8, and then as an institution as big as Jump, you have to have diversity. You have to be a tastemaker. Jadi when Chainsaw Man became the hit that it is meant to be, I just had to look at the key visual and the key art. Aku macam, yeah, this is a no-brainer. This is like, it's about time the manga, the Jump punya titles ada title-title yang I don't mean this in a bad way, but yang seemingly adult, where okay, enough are your tropes of taking, Shinigamis or Journey to the West or whatever, taking all these common tropes and just relying purely on good character writing, good character design, and then let people enjoy it. But it's time where now Jump has to like move on dengan peredaran zaman and say, sekarang we are gonna tell you to challenge your own taste in manga. Tolong tengok manga yang pelik macam ni. This kind of art, this kind of stuff, this kind of premise and story. So while I do not like reading, I did not enjoy the manga reading experience for Chainsaw Man, it was such an IP yang aku macam, okay, this is cool. If I was an editor, even though I would for Jump, I would put it on. So bila kau kata the creator worked as an assistant mangaka for Chainsaw Man, I immediately saw how zany and out of this world and wild his rites of passage was. To give him the confidence to go like, you know what? I'm gonna take two tropes, I'm gonna put it together. My art is already wild, but when these two tropes and each of these tropes kita buat dia jadi wild gila babi, when you put them together, I wonder how that is going to be like. Visually, people cannot even settle on one panel. Story-wise, how do you even begin to define and start telling the story? So I think that is huge as an IP, because masa Munif cerita kat aku tengok kau Munif kau cerita kat aku kat Bedah ke masa kita jumpa, bila aku tanya, so Dandadan ni cerita dia macam mana, and then Munif was like, if you like this and it's supernatural, and then if you like this and then it's alien, you like this, you bayangkan dua-dua ni hang campur tapi satu tu alien, satu tu supernatural. My mind was like, wow, okay, meletup. So macam Amber cakap tadi lah, you do not get this. You get a lot of very experimental Japanese punya IPs, but there always will be, okay, within supernatural or within a trope, within a genre. You don't get this kind of mix, and not just you get it, but you execute it so well. So Chainsaw Man is a very westernized idea, but only the Japanese can execute that, because you cannot draw a character with the saw coming out of his head in an American comic punya standard paneling punya style. It's never gonna work. People are gonna go like, where is his pose? How is he going to work with the saw sticking out of his face? How is he going to interact with his environments and the surrounding? But manga can make it work. So as an IP, I feel that this is hugely interesting. If it's a precursor to a new big three yang macam as recent as, say for example, One Piece, Bleach dengan Naruto was around, the big three was pretty much still what the 90 anime big three was, cuma better. This might just open the door to like, okay, now let's stand by guys, our big three is going to be like really odd, because only the Japanese can do this. So from an IP, aku rasa benda tu cool gila babi lah.
One thing I like to add, like some things to the things that you said lah. Satu pasal, who are the guys tasked with like animating this project, and then about the genres that they have to melt together apa semua kan. So aku rasa memang, you talk about like Shin-chan, Chibi Maruko lah and all that.
Yeah.
So you actually see why this particular set of skills is useful for Dandadan. Sebab bagi aku lah, it's a smart decision to make it very stylized and sometimes a bit whimsical juga. Disebabkan, okay, macam tadi, yang ni semua orang pun nampak lah yang dah tengok 2 episodes. Yang benda yang kita pun dah berulang kali cakap, it's marrying, sci-fi, UFOs, alien, and also benda-benda mistakes macam hantu and curses and all. But here's the thing, this is the first 2 episodes. As the story goes, aku just nak tambah di sini, there's gonna be another, macam mana? It's actually not just these 2 things. Kalau aku boleh categorize what genre are they covering dalam Dandadan ni, I can just say it's basically no holds barred. Itu sebenarnya. Just bukan sci-fi and mysticism. It's no holds barred. Anything goes. Sebab apa? You're gonna see cryptozoology dalam ni sekali. You're gonna see cryptozoology. So you...
Tak. Aku nak interject sekejap je, because it was funny that you mentioned that, because it's as if there's this one part in the first episode, dia dah nak screw up the whole thing. Yang when you said no holds barred, when Serbo Grady came up to her Momo's phone, and Serbo was like, what is this? We don't even have this technology. Itu baru episode 1.
Satu. So what I meant was that, the first 2 episodes, you seeing the marrying of these very 2 different genres, mysticism dengan sci-fi. So with that pun kita dah nampak, okay, kenapa they got these animators to do this very, stylized kind of visuals to marry these 2 completely different things kan. But then as we go, you're gonna see even more. Kenapa they actually kena buat Dandadan ni very stylized, because it's actually not just these 2. is no holds barred. Anything goes. So, macam aku kata tadi, there's gonna be cryptozoology tu. So you're talking about other alien, you're talking about other hantu, then you're talking about other Mongolian death worm, ada lah Nessie lah, apa semua benda ni yang urban legends, myths, earthbound monsters campur dengan alien sci-fi and hantu. So it's actually, when you look at the full scope of the things yang dia akan cover, then kau realise memang dia tak boleh pilih satu style, mampus. So it has to be very highly stylized, whimsical, a bit detached from reality, tapi somewhat tied to it juga. Then all these flavors will make sense.
Actually kan Munib, the moment you said that, masa Hang start explain tu, the thing that came to mind was, aku terbayang macam, so if that is the case, in this digital age where semua orang ada access kepada semua benda immediately all the time, it's going to be so hard to process. Your feed has a lot of shit that you cannot control. So if we feel that way as adults, bayangkan budak-budak adolescents kat sekolah, which is the ages of Momo and Ken, what would they be feeding on? And if it's a story that reflects their time, it has to be, as macam Mudi cakap, varied and pecah-pecah macam-macam genre, because it has to include everything. They cannot control what they experience and consume in life. Apart, dia boleh curate sikit je. So the moment the manga, or rather the IP, is able to, in a very meta way, capture all this to sort of like, okay, these are the two characters that I have. So these two characters go through all this shit, they see all these things, they don't want to know about Nessie. This shit has been going on before they were born, but they were, as a part of their story, they have to learn about Nessie. Kau boleh bayangkan the amount of like benda pelik. So it brilliantly captures the mental state that they could possibly be in, yang macam, aku nak kena hadap ni, and for an animator, for a visually, any artist working on this will be like, oh man, I've been working the last 15 years to do a project like this, bro. Kau nak aku lukis apa, bro? Kau nak aku lukis apa? It feels that way. And if that's the case, it's a cause for celebration lah. Because I cannot find a title. I tried to find a title, macam, wait, tak jumpa. And then I give up. And then I'm just gonna watch it and refrain from reading the manga for as long as I can. Kalau tidak, nanti akan jadi macam Kaiju Number 8 lah.
Katam terus.
Start belum? Mana episod minggu ni? Macam tu. Oh man.
Ada